Many people around the world believe that if they strike it rich, if they win that money, that lotto, if they earn that prize that they're going for, if they earn all that money, all will be well, that their life is just going to blossom. I hear it so often, it's almost shocking to me because it's so untrue. It's not that money in and of itself makes you unhappy, but money in and of itself will not make you happy. And I think so many people around the world feel that if they get this money, if they make enough money, if they become wealthy enough, all will be well. And really, it just is not true. And let me give you some examples to support that. Elizabeth and I work in Orange County, which is one of the wealthiest counties in the world, and in Newport Beach, which is one of the wealthiest cities in the world. They're very, very wealthy people here. And the clients that we see come here, and what's happened is, in order to accumulate so much wealth, they have to often really specialize and spend a lot of energy developing and creating that wealth. And because all that energy goes through creation of wealth, it's usually at the expense of many other things like their physical health, their emotional health, their spiritual health. Because if you choose to really get good at one thing, it's often at the expense of others. So what I've learned is, again, it isn't wrong to do well financially, but why it doesn't work, why so many people are under the illusion that if they get wealthy, all will be well, because they forget what it takes to get there. Because what it takes to get there often is a lot of work. But in the process of putting forth that work, you think, well, when I'm done, I'll just go to an island and retire and everything will be well. What happens is, though, you get changed by putting so much effort into creating that wealth that it changes who you are. And in order to push yourself that hard, you end up having addictions, things that cause you to not do well emotionally, spiritually, and physically. So you suffer. And then when you finally do get the wealth, there's so much pain and struggle inside of you that you're just not doing well anymore. So let's say then, well, I will inherit it, or I'll win the lotto, or I'll get a whole bunch of money given to me as a gift. Then all will be well. Well, we've also studied people that has happened to. We've studied people that won $20 million in the U.S. or more in the lotto. And are they happier? Are they doing better? Is life going well for them? And pretty much across the board, the studies show that they're not. They're not happier. In many cases, they're less happy. And life just isn't going well for them. Why would that be? Because when you get wealth, you often get a whole complexity of things that go with that. Things you have to now take care of. Your life becomes harder. People are wanting things from you instead of doing it naturally. And so that doesn't in and of itself create happiness. So the big question is, if that isn't the solution, Dr. Puff, should I not choose to be wealthy? Should I not work towards that goal? I think more importantly is to ask yourself, how can I enjoy what I'm doing right now, be completely passionate about it, and work towards a goal? So that way, if 10 years from now you reach your goal, you're still healthy because you're taking care of yourself, you're being balanced. And if you don't reach your goal, it doesn't really matter because you've enjoyed the journey. Enjoy life, enjoy the journey. So whether you end up being very wealthy or end up struggling financially all your life, in many ways it doesn't have to make any difference at all, because no matter what you have, everything you have right now can make you emotionally, spiritually, and in your heart very wealthy if you live here, if you live now. Peace.
Our first question this week comes to us from Heinz P. in Berlin, Germany. I am so unhappy with my job, and looking for another job is difficult in this economy. I should be thankful to have a job. My mood is affecting those around me. How can I change my outlook?
Well, Heinz, I think the first part that I want to focus on, and Elizabeth I think can tackle the second part, will be your current job. If you don't like your current job, what we want to do is help you work towards liking aspects of your job. So the first thing to do is, no matter how horrible something is, there's always something good about something. Nothing is pure bad, nothing. Because even if you're feeling pain, horrible pain, you're alive. So you can always kind of see something good in no matter how bad it is. So start by looking at your job and saying, okay, are there things here that I'm neglecting, things I'm missing? Maybe there's a really good coworker that you enjoy. You could think about, yeah, I really do like this person. Because if you think about the things that you like and find things that you like, but really thinking about what you already like will really help make your day-to-day existence better and you'll enjoy your work now instead of waiting for something to change. But secondly, I think equally as important is saying, how do I make my job better? Because no matter how horrible a job is, you really can make it better. When I was in college or university, I worked at a packing plant, and it probably was the worst job that I ever had. All I did all day long was like 110 degrees, and I was just scooping up animals, guts and remains, and it was a horrible job. And I did it from about 12 to 15 hours a day, 6 days a week, and I worked only 8 hours a day on a Sunday. And that was the hardest job I ever had in my life. But even there, you know, I met the people, I tried to enjoy myself. I mean, I was saving money. The next year I was able to use that money to go on a really fun trip for the whole summer. So, and the great thing is it only lasted for 8 weeks because they ended up laying me off. But the point about it is, even in that very difficult job, you can always find something to enjoy. The men there actually were very nice, and I really enjoyed them. They'd been there for years, and I was in college or university. So I got to meet them and learn from them and got that experience. So try to find good things that are happening in your work right now.
I think another important piece is that your thoughts create your reality. So if you're thinking to yourself, I want another job because I hate mine and there's nothing out there, there's no hope for another job, because we do hear that sometimes depending on where the economy is. If you swallow that in and you take that in and you're thinking that all the time, guess what? You're not going to find a job. But if you're positive and you put out there, I am going to find what I want, I believe in myself, I believe that I can do this regardless of what's going on, and if you have people around you who are supporting you, all that matters. Pay attention to what you're watching on the media, pay attention to what you're reading, because if you're getting constant negative stuff, you're going to keep thinking that. So fill yourself up with positivity, like the show, that gives you hope for the future for yourself, because you can have the things that you want in life. You can have the life that you like and that you love, but ultimately it's what you think about, not only about in your present moment, but for your future as well. Believe in yourself and believe that you can have the things that you want, because if you think that you're not going to, that's going to be what happens.
And to all our viewers out there, as you go through difficult times, be aware that you can both be in the present, love the present, and, as Elizabeth so wisely said, prepare for the future. Both and is really the way to lead life. So peace to you.
Thank you so much, and we wish you all the best in your future.